Hey everyone, in this video, let's do a review of Grok 2. In order to do so, here we are on x.com and we are talking to Grok. On the left-hand side here, you'll see Grok in the menu, and you can click on that and you can start your conversation with Grok. And it's really quite straightforward. You could just click in the box here and start asking whatever questions you are interested in asking and start that conversation. Let's just take a look here at some of the advantages to Grok. One of the things that I was unaware of, but it appears that now they have released the limitation on the amount of images that you're able to generate. I know that previously there was a limitation, and this is I was just generating a variety of images, and I was able to generate so many of them that I finally just asked, hey, how many images are you able to generate? And Grok says that there isn't a specific limit on the number of images you can generate. So that's good to know. Another thing here is I just asked straight up with Grok, what are the benefits of Grok over other chatbots, and are there any downsides? So we'll just take a look at what Grok says. So first off, real-time information access. Grok has a unique advantage of accessing real-time data from X and allowing it to provide up-to-date answers that currently reflect current events or trends. So that's quite important to note comparing Grok with other platforms. One of the main things that I use is ChatGPT. That's one of most of the interactions I've had with chatbots has been with ChatGPT. I have used other platforms as well, but ChatGPT is a bit delayed in its information pool that it gathers from. Not by too much. I think maybe it could be a matter of days or weeks or even a couple months or something like that. I know that I have talked to ChatGPT before about certain things, and it was not aware of them, and I had to explain it. But with Grok, you are actually getting real-time data that is being pulled specifically from X. So that's really quite interesting, and that's a good reason to perhaps take advantage of Grok over other chatbots. Few other things here that it says: engaging and humorous responses. Grok is designed with a sense of humor and a rebellious streak, making interactions more engaging and less formal. This can lead to more enjoyable conversations, especially for users who appreciate witty or unconventional responses. Handling spicy questions. Grok is noted for its willingness to tackle questions that other AI systems might avoid, providing straightforward answers to controversial or spicy topics. And this is kind of a good thing to point out here with Grok and comparing it with other platforms. A big conversation when it comes to AI chatbots is who is doing the programming. Are the people who are doing the programming injecting their own bias into the models that they're creating? And when you, the user, are getting answers, are you getting answers that are being skewed based on the programming behind it? And there was some controversy a few months ago when it came to Google Gemini and some of the responses that it was giving. And recently here with DeepSeek, there's been some controversy with that as well. And so that's one of the considerations that you might have when interacting with AI, is whether or not your philosophy, your worldview is more aligned with the people who are doing the programming. But it is interesting to just note that there are these kind of segregated pools of information in terms of the different AI chatbots, and how it is that they're going to respond to certain things, and why you personally might prefer one chatbot over another. So, going with a chatbot that reflects your own perspective and perhaps bias, that is just sort of an interesting thing to think about when we're considering the landscape of AI chatbots and the information pools that are out there. So, if that's a whole rabbit hole that we could go down, but that's just something to take into consideration. And I know that Grok has a reputation for certain people of being perhaps more even-handed, perhaps, in terms of how it responds to certain questions. And I certainly have had conversations with ChatGPT, for example, asking about certain things. And there has been a bias that has been displayed. But the interesting thing about the different chatbots, and I would say ChatGPT specifically, although I don't think it's necessarily unique in this regard, is that ChatGPT has a memory of your conversations. Grok does not. Grok does not have a memory of your different conversations. Each conversation is kind of a fresh discussion. And the neat thing about something like ChatGPT and arguably other platforms is the memory that it maintains of your conversations is a way that it can actually respond to your opinions and criticisms more intuitively. So that's what I've experienced personally, is that even if ChatGPT, for example, displays a certain bias, you can reason with it. You can talk to it and you can explain your perspective. And oftentimes, if you do it the right way, I don't know if there's any right way of doing it, but if you do it in a certain way, then you can oftentimes have the ChatGPT acknowledge your criticisms, and it can become more intuitive in terms and sensitive to you and its responses. So that's one of the reasons why I've enjoyed using something like ChatGPT personally, is because there is a sense of kind of tailoring the conversation and getting more personalized, intuitive responses. Whereas with Grok, while it does have that ability to pull from information that is more current, it's not able to remember your different conversations. So that's kind of a downside, I would say. But the upside is the fact that it does give you unlimited image generation, and that's really that's quite notable, because you can go to a variety of different places to do image generation, and there is a subscription oftentimes, or you only get a certain amount of credits to be able to do image generation. So the fact that Grok is able to do unlimited image generation is definitely something that sets it apart from other platforms. So let's just take a look here at some of the other information. So integration with X for users active on X, Grok offers seamless integration, enhancing the user experience within that platform, particularly for those with the premium subscription. I can't really attest to this personally. I did have a subscription, but I didn't really notice that there was any specific advantage, perhaps, aside from the fact that previously the only way you could have access to Grok is if you had a subscription. So they've changed that, and now you have essentially unlimited access to Grok, and you also have unlimited AI generation, image generation, which is something that they've done here recently. And if you're looking for some place to start, then those might be good reasons for you to check out Grok. Personality and contextual understanding. Grok's design, inspired by The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, aims to provide not just answer, but even to suggest questions, enhancing the exploratory aspect of users' interactions. So that's interesting because there's an element there of helping you with critical thinking, asking you questions, so that you have to think about your responses, and how much you decide to get into that with something like Grok. That's a matter of time and effort, and that's something that I have found with AI in general, is that it's not just a magic wand necessarily that just gives you everything you want. I mean, there is still effort and time that you have to put into your questions and forming them in a certain way and clarifying your intentions, and oftentimes taking whatever information that it's provided and then perhaps utilizing a different platform in order to synthesize that in the way that you want to do that. So here, performance in specific tasks. It says here Grok has been shown to perform well in areas like real-world understanding, diagram interpretation, and certain programming tasks, sometimes outperforming other models like ChatGPT in these specific scenarios. Downsides of using Grok. So, limited access. Access to Grok is restricted to X Premium subscribers, which might limit its availability to a broader audience and increase the cost for users who want to use Grok. Now, this to me seems like it's old information. Because as far as I know, Grok is unlimited now. It's not just restricted to X Premium Plus subscribers. So this kind of gives you some sense that even though it claims to be gaining access to up-to-date information, it doesn't even seem to know that this has changed. Now, it could just be pulling from data in the past, and this is the thing with AI is sometimes it's grabbing from a lot of different information, and it might not always be accurate in all of that. So this is a good example of that, and it's something that you should consider with any AI platforms. They are not always accurate, and it's a good idea to kind of go in there with the ability to ask questions, clarify, and kind of whittle things down. It's at the end of the day, in many ways, it's a brainstorming tool, and it's a mirror that you can use in order to sharpen your own thoughts and opinions about certain things. Accuracy and misinformation. So here, like many AI chatbots, Grok can sometimes provide incorrect information, as we've just seen, or hallucinate facts, especially when in fun mode, where the focus might be more on entertainment than factual accuracy. So don't take everything that it says for granted. In general, that's a rule of thumb on the internet. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. And that is the same for AI chatbots, which are pulling from the internet in order to provide the responses that they do. Lack of visual input. Unlike some competitors, Grok does not support visual input, which can be a disadvantage for tasks requiring image recognition or analysis. I don't know. Again, I think this might be incorrect because we see here that we do have the option to attach an image or a file. So some of this seems to be out of date. Limited access, I don't think that's true anymore. And also visual input, I don't think that's true anymore either. User experience and interface. Some users might find Grok's interface less intuitive or lacking the bells and whistles of other chatbots, potentially making it less user-friendly for some tasks. So, one thing that I would say about this is that the main thing that to me stands out with Grok is that it doesn't maintain a memory of your conversations. And, if we just take a look here at ChatGPT, for example, here on the left-hand side, you could see all your different conversations that you've had. So that is kind of important, I would say. And, it's something that maybe they might fix in a future update. But for the time being, that does not appear to be the case. And all of your conversations start from scratch, which can be a little bit annoying sometimes because if you have had a conversation with Grok about something and you lose that conversation, then you kind of have to start over from scratch. And one of the nice things about the memory in ChatGPT, for example, is that it maintains that memory. It does have a memory limit, especially for the free users. But generally speaking, that memory can be maintained, and so the responses that you get are more intuitive. Dependency on X. Grok's reliance on X for real-time data could be considered a double-edged sword, as the quality of the information might vary based on the platform's content at any given time. So that's important to note. Maturity and development. Being a newer entrant, Grok might not have the same level of development or vast training data that more established chatbots like ChatGPT have. Potentially, it's impacting its performance across a broader range of tasks. So Grok is being pretty honest here about its limitations. It's also providing us some incorrect information as well that we can see. So again, this kind of gives you an idea of where Grok is and where Grok 2 is. And, these things continue to evolve. I'm sure that they have more updates coming down the line. We'll go ahead and just say here, in summary, while Grok offers unique advantages, especially in terms of real-time information, engaging interactions, its limitations, particularly in access, accuracy, and visual capabilities, are noteworthy. So users should consider their specific needs when choosing Grok over other chatbots. So there you go. Grok up-to-date information, but it doesn't have a memory. However, the upside is unlimited image generation. As far as we can tell, there is unlimited image generation with Grok, so that is a good reason for why you might want to use it. And that's all there is to it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment and like and subscribe for more helpful tips.